Advances in technologies for persons with disabilities have created a wide range of options. Consumers and professionals often report feeling overwhelmed and frustrated trying to select appropriate technologies. Marcia Scherer and her colleagues conducted a number of studies in the late 80s and early 90s to examine the problems users were having with assistive and other technologies. People reported how important it was for counselors and others to talk with them about their goals, preferences, needs, and technology options. Consumers felt that they would gain more from technologies and they would be more satisfied if they were more involved in the planning processes. The Matching Person and Technology, or MPT model, was developed to provide a more personal approach to matching individuals with the most appropriate technologies. The model focuses on the characteristics and interaction of three primary components. These are the milieu, or environment, in which the person will interact with the technology, the person who will be the user of the technology, and the technology itself. The characteristics of the milieu, person, and technology interact to influence the success or failure of a particular technology plan. The balance of the positive and negative influence of these components will help determine whether the technology will be used successfully. The MPT process and instruments were developed to ensure the following four goals. First, that users' goals and preferences drive the MPT process. Second is that the degree of match between the user and professional perspective is assessed. Third is that professionals are guided into considering all relevant influences on the selection and use of a technology while focusing on the user's quality of life and participation in desired activities. The fourth goal is that mismatches between a proposed technology and a potential user are identified in time to reduce inappropriate use or non-use and eliminate the accompanying disappointment and frustration. The MPT process and forms are widely used throughout the U.S. and Canada. The MPT also has been adapted by other countries for use with their consumers. This usually requires little more than changes in terminology and perhaps the addition of a few items to reflect their particular system of technology service delivery. For example, in the Republic of Ireland, the ATDPA and the ETPA have been combined. This comprehensive assessment is for students with disabilities graduating from high school and preparing for college or employment. In a research study conducted in Quebec, 7 items related to AT service delivery in that Canadian province were added. In general, technologies have helped many individuals realize a higher quality of life than they might have had otherwise. In order to achieve this, it is important that individuals feel comfortable with technologies and how to use them to their benefit. The MPT process is designed to help the professional and the user work together to choose the most appropriate technology based on the characteristics of the person, technology, and milieu, and to choose the most appropriate training strategies and additional supports necessary for the optimal use of the technology. Rehabilitation professionals who have used the MPT process with their consumers reported that both they and their consumers gained considerably from the information obtained. Examples of their experience are as follows.
Since we were the ones paying for the bulk of expenses for the AT devices, we were always the ones to decide what a consumer needed. It was not unusual for us to find a certain device and then just order it, hoping that the consumer would use it. This was the easy way out because we didn't have to put in extra time to make sure that the device was what the consumer wanted. We were just able to get something to fulfill our requirements. The big problem that we were getting so frustrated with was that most of the consumers would only use the device for a little while and then abandon it. We just felt that they didn't need it any longer or didn't want to take the time to learn how to use it. It never occurred to us that it may not be a good fit for them because the device was never person-centered.
When I first started this project, I thought she just needed a new wheelchair, and we'd figure out a way to get one for her. Boy, was I in for a shock. I found out while interviewing her and completing these surveys that she's never been taught to transfer independently, and she'd not been able to take a shower or a bath independently in 4 years. She can't get on or off her commode chair without assistance, and although she has a raised toilet in her bathroom, she has no grab bars and no idea of how to get from her wheelchair to the toilet and back. I was aware that she wasn't measured for a wheelchair, and as a result she has a chair that's much too small for her. But what I didn't know is that now the only time she leaves her bed is when she's helped to her commode chair or to get into that too small wheelchair to go to a doctor's appointment. After learning all of this, I feel very guilty. I don't know how I could have failed to notice that she needed help.
Those were only a few comments from users of the MPT. Both professionals and consumers reported that they have gained considerably from the MPT process and the information it generated.